I think when we had the inaugural summit in London this year, as David said, we were absolutely overwhelmed by the caliber of leadership of the young people that we had there. And one thing for which we were extremely ill-prepared was the notion that we would be having bidding host cities. We were just trying to work out who was going to host us next or who could be bothered to host us next. But the truth was that by the end of the summit itself, we had several young people in touch with us saying, oh, my city's going to bid. Then we had people like Frank and Thomas coming in with official bids. And we realized that we had an event on our hands whose importance was much more than we had actually dreamed. And it was quite a difficult thing to stop and think it wasn't just going to a city because they were the only people who'd have us, that we had the chance to choose. But we have to choose with the interests of these young leaders in mind. And that sets up a different set of criteria for choosing the host city. And we ended up with a final list out of the original 9, going down to 3, which was Zurich and Vienna and Pune in India. And the things that were important about these bids is we had to have fully formed bids, which meant those bids needed the support of national media, it needed the support of a national airline, it needed support of the tourist authorities, but also we had to be sure that we had the support of the mayor of the host city for a variety of reasons, because this event does attract needs like transport support as well as security considerations. And in addition to that, we have to be sure that the government of the country of the host city is willing and prepared to support the visa application process and the granting of visas. And that was a difficult thing and a learning for me and David to learn that some of the world's, to Edward's point, greatest democracies are also countries who would not give visas to many, many of the delegate countries that we would have had attending. And that's not a one young world principle, and that's something that we cannot and we would never entertain. So of course it speaks to the values that have been alluded to earlier this morning, the values of Switzerland itself, historically long neutral, and the values of this country as a world centre. It is absolutely vital for future host cities for One Young World, and that includes Zurich, that these are world cities and world centres. And for us, the vision that Madam Mayor and Thomas and Frank showed in saying Zurich is not just the centre of the world of private banking or the old centre of the world of private banking. Zurich intends to show itself as a world city of the future. And I would assume by that Zurich intends to be the future city of private banking for all of you. And I think this is very important because this is the establishment, if I may grace you with that title, this is the Zurich establishment, indeed the Swiss establishment, saying, we will take our place as leaders in the world of the future. So this is the city authority saying, we have a vision for our city in the future, and it will take its place. And that is that is a serious thing. And I would say to the young people here and to the One Young World ambassadors and delegates of the future, anybody running a city or running a country who is not setting themselves up to matter to you in the future and to be of value and importance to you in the future shouldn't have the jobs that they've got, because that's how One Young World works. As Kofi Annan always says to the delegates, and has often said to me and David, leaders must also be good followers. So if the leaders of the world are not leading, then you must make them follow. Which I would say to the young people of Zurich, you are fortunate in your mayor, you are fortunate in Frank and Thomas, and in their vision in bringing One Young World to Zurich as host city. And in closing, I would just like to say, the other criterion, this is where it gets really tough, the other criterion for all of you that are here today as business leaders and as community leaders is for you to support brilliant young leaders to attend One Young World Zurich 2011. So I would ask all of you in your packs to look at what that involves and to think of the really brilliant young people that you know who should be attending One Young World 2011. To that we ask you for your support and my sincere thanks from 800 One Young World ambassadors, and from myself and David to you, Madam Mayor, who follows me here. Thank you so much.